Good evening. Nice to meet with you guys. Matthew Bennett from the University of Washington Bothroyd. I hope I said that right. And Marta Revelins. Thanks for judging, and I hope this will be a great debate. Okay, it's going to be framework, one off, and then case. Framework, interpretation, the United States federal government is the people, perkel no date, the government's three branches, the legislative branch, the executive branch, the judicial branch, but the government is the people, violation, the affirmative defense, a hypothetical ban on animal testing by bureaucracy, Washington DC, non-individual agency, foot negative limits, the shifting discussion from the level of communities, individual lives, so Washington DC leads 1,000 particular policy changes, that legislative policy that may become debatable ground that make us debate a world which we compare to bureaucratic policies of the individual agency that turns to the spectator, Mitchell 95, fiat, the debaters, similarly political control of the external actors, the students' code laws over the rules that involve agencies, controversy, the research, the political source by liberty, the burden of the demonstration, connection of in-run advocacy and action of external actors, defending the pain and copper blood, mandates of for education, competing interpretation of the good we debate, which debate would be holistically good for debate, not what's good in this debate, their interpretation arbitrary, only self-serving. This thought that we can process that we can affect circumstances that we have no control over leads to endless suffering as we cause the argument with reality and try to recreate a reality by Katie 2. Behind every incompatible feelings of thought that's the truth for us rather than instead the original cause of thought we try to change our stressful feeling but looking outside ourselves and any stressful feelings like compassion, alarm call that says you're caught in a dream, it hurts to believe that you're anyone other than who you are to live in a story other than happiness, you put your hand in the fire, does anyone have to tell you to move it, you don't have to direct it, the hand moves itself the same way the understanding to inquire that the true thought causes suffering, they move away from roads to recognize this all of our suffering begins to unravel on its own. The mistake that the policy with the framework which is justified embracing a deep ecological ethical framework is a prerequisite to effective policy making. Catch in 93. The mistake that the policy itself with the instrumental framework which is justified policy decisions do not merely trade off in comparison with the various human benefits of the preservation policies that be justified the loss of equity must can reject the anthropocentric instrumental framework for policy decisions. From this perspective, the question of the trade-off in comparison of human benefits and the question of the justice for specific human population dominate the discussions when the non-anthropocentric framework is justified that creates a more complex situation for deliberation and resolution. They reject the axiological normative framework of instrumental rationality of the set of obligations or the nature to its own right, the many questions of human benefit and satisfaction is irrelevant. Value. They say that their value is political action. Here's the litmus test. The affirmative has to prove that they are able to influence politics in order for him to be able to win his framework. Talking about a political reform takes away from others. It takes away from the inherent education debate. The judge should vote for whoever creates the most real-world change against anthropocentrism. Next argument. I support the entirety of the 1AC and Speech Act stance of viewing life as a property. The absence of animal testing is wrong because ineffective makes animal feel pain. However, just justifies this thing. This weren't the case of BLK. Look to his advantages. He wants to stop the biological warfare, the welfare state, biopower to humans, completely disregarding the animals are equal to humans in every aspect. He says that testing through the state says he's trying to collapse, which probably means that he has no solvency because the state wouldn't listen to anyone who's trying to tear it apart. However, he doesn't specify the animals will never go into what the animal testing is besides cosmetics and radiation testing definitions. Testing that requires the use of animals. According to PETA, that animal-based testing is a condition for the governments of the importation, sale of pesticides, industrial chemicals, drugs, and vaccines, genetically manipulated foods, and some consumer products banned. According to Oxford Dictionary, means to legally prohibit. Use in animal testing, according to Anima and the American Anti-Vivisection Society, are damage and direct effect from application toxicity, pharmacokinetics, metabolism, mutagenicity, carcinogenicity, powergenicity. The resolution of animal testing proves that animals are no more than objects what to test and try scientific consequences on and determine the effects with no ethical dilemma. My plan envelops this and stops all version of animal testing that are politically defined. Viewing animals as properties intrinsically wrong must be ejected in every instance. Pacino Barnett, University of California, St. Barger 2. Animals that are not things in legal systems and treats them more as properties intrinsically fraud. That nano central attention squarely on the human psychological conceptual frameworks that are firstly brought in the play legislation and common law are products of human activity and they bear the unavoidable cost of imprint of human mentality. Label something as property if the entity puts able no interest of mere protection as a means determined by the property owner. Oh, I forgot a card here. Let me get this up real quick. Okay, and this rejection of the politically unqualified leads to harm of mentally handicapped person who is seen as property as to their doctors and caretakers. Tom Reagan, professor of North Carolina University, State 1. What can be the process for having more inherent value to humans because another human life subject to value considerably less mental ability normally the inherent value than we do, the natural slaves of us who do are more fortunate. It comes down to an innate intelligence, and this justification allows for who can communicate in a way that we wish to be repressed and all forced to the exclusion or pattern off the human, non-human divide in order to normalizing anthropocentric order is critical to challenge the endless war and difference. Target, Kochi Sussex Law School 2-9. The violence and killing of new species war playing up the history distinction, hierarchy, life value, extension of the human and animal distinction, and distinction be thought through the value of the human animal, distinction of the human Hellenes, barbarians, Europeans, Orientals, whites, black, civilized, and civilized, the Nazis, Jews, the Israelis, the Arabs, colonized this practice and regimes have been normalized and wider, that replicates the normalization of violence carried out by the non-human animals, challenging the forms of violence is the ongoing task of any critic. Case. You're not going to vote out the few inherent problems. First, he defends the state action, but defends nowhere. It says nowhere that his advantages give any support for the state doing anything. Somehow the state is going to ban all testing and destroy the welfare state. It's not going to happen. It's politically impossible. Impacts, they see suffering. He says animal suffering, but the suffering is the suffering they cannot see. They are trying to clean the projector by wiping away the image and try to stop the animal abuse by in this one instance, but deny every other abuse humans do to non-animals. Poverty, animal violence is the reason that poverty exists. Once a man failed, he can subdue the environment. Animals whose will is a small step that should be subdue humans. Poverty always exists without the state because people are naturally
intellectually innovators want to create more than the other person. This turns their claim. Solvency value a key to state control. There's no qualification. The affirmative can describe the dehumanized individuals with the country's breasts not affected. Stopping animal tests will not reverse this trend. 1,000 years of burden. They have to prove one reliable source that says stopping animal tests will reverse oppression. Their human rights and claims are just a constant modification. The West model of legitimate war, which the mass species war in order to treat its idea of good life. Kochi 2.9. Attempting to place human rights in the category of the tread lines of the state of humanitarian law, orders war instead of cosmopolitan global conception of the good life. And humanity is not anything else. We are part of a larger biological community. You can't make. There's no reason you're going to put animals over anything else. We are always inherently equal. They can't do that any intellect. There's no logical justification.